Very, very interesting, change for us also, because beauty landscape has evolved over the years. The typical definition of beauty, what we used to see 10 years ago, it is very different today. And beauty in itself has become very, very broad, I would say, statement. Because earlier, when we used to talk about beauty, only makeup was a thing. Maybe we'll talk about lipstick, liner, foundation, all of these things. But today we see beauty as all inclusive. So whether you are into fitness, whether you are into any kind of diet, or any kind of things which internally and externally makes you feel happy, people define it in, or under that beauty segment. So when we said we got you girl, of course it was always to address our core TG, which is still like, we focus on that. But the idea of moving from we got you girl to we got you was to complete that journey, where beauty is all inclusive. Because nowadays we see that, gone are the days where you're preaching as a beauty brand that this is what you
Right.
need to do. Now people really, really enjoy, slash they enjoy the whole vibe when a brand is saying whatever you are, whether you're using a lip gloss, or you're using kajal, or you're doing a full makeup, we absolutely accept you the way you are. We are there to support you in whatever look you want to create. Even if it's a no makeup thing, the whole idea is that we got you. Even if you want to do a bare minimum, anything which you want to do as a beauty brand, we support you. Because the idea is that we moved away from that. I would say we were never in that zone of preaching, but it's a
Hmm.
conscious call of supporting the tribe, by saying that we got you. Because at the end of the day, no matter what, whatever side angle you present, we are always there as a brand. That's the whole idea of this. And also making it more extended towards being gender neutral, because beauty is
Right.
also not for females anymore. It's being gender neutral. So that's how we thought that we need to move away from girl and make it more inclusive. So that was the thought behind it. 100%. I think products, there are ample of products available in different
Hmm.
categories. With the entire D2C boom, with Instagram brands, you will see there's no dearth of products. That's why
Hmm.
you will see. And I think the overall transition towards, creator economy is also a testimony in its own way, where people don't just buy a product with the price or the label you're putting or the kind of packaging you're doing. It has to make a
Hmm.
connect with them. Every skin is different, every body is different. India is a country where you will see different kind of shape, size, and everything. So
Hmm.
which brand, the brand which is able to bring everything together and build that community is the brand which is, you will see in current ecosystem, these are the brands which are
Hmm.
surviving also. So this goes
Right.
beyond, product has to be absolutely good. There is no denial in that. But that is expected. Nowadays even consumer has, and this is a shift we have seen pre-COVID and post-COVID, because people do read labels, right? People do
Hmm.
understand, is it working for my skin tone or not? The whole virtual trial, with the help of AI coming in, from any platform you take, people are trying it, and people are trying to make sure that it should relate to yourself. That's a personalization, the level of personalization we are getting into. So that's why it's very, very important that it should suit you, and that community you should build. Because product will sell, product will work if you're able to crack what is the requirement, or what is the problem
Hmm.
statement, and what you are solving. So that is how we see. And I'll give you an example. Our product Jellyverse, right? We got an insight that, usually when you do eye makeup, it's tedious, different brushes, different type of merging. And again, then the whole setting point of it, at times it happens that when you're trying to do your eye makeup, you have limited time, you just have to do it so much of precision. But then when we talk about Jellyverse, the whole idea was that one swipe and you're sorted for your eyes. So that's how we are also trying to see that what will be efficient, what will also save your time, and what will make it more, it will, the product should resonate with you. It should add
Hmm.
some kind of, I would say, innovation slash benefit for you. And that's where we
Right.
see that it's important to build that community, get the insight, and make that kind of bond with our audience. Because it's just not a sale, what we are focusing on. We are also
Hmm.
focusing on that we hear our community, we take feedbacks, and we do something where it's some kind of innovation for them, and they enjoy and love the products they are using. Because makeup is very personal at the end of the day. It's also the audience we are catering to. Swiss Beauty, at the end of the day, from an 18-year onwards, we'll start. Because at the end of the day, when we talk about kajal, when we talk about lip gloss, it starts, I would say, with Gen Alpha, right? Currently
Hmm.
where we are, and it can move into various, I would say, generations. So Swiss Beauty is 18 to 45, 50 plus. When we talk about care, it's little mature, audience, somebody who's just picked up their first job or second job, metro specific, metro focus. So 24 to 40 is what we look for. And then again, care is, starting from Gen Alpha, because at the end of the day, face wash, if you talk about, you start early, right? Start using skin
Right.
and all of these things. And also with latest trend, a lot of, Gen Alpha, Gen Zs are into skincare and followed by millennials. So of course, the
Mhm.
communication, the kind of creators we are picking it, the kind of, activities we are connecting with, that creates a differentiation, because at the end of the day, each brand requires different lens, and hence the activity and the kind of promotions, the kind of creators we are picking up, they are defined in such a way that, they are, catering to the specific audience we are, catering to. So virality is not a strategy. I firmly
Mhm.
believe in that, because there can be 10,000 things which can be viral. We also follow global trends. But are all trends relevant for India? No. Because there are a lot of things you will see that, okay, what is the feasibility? Is it working for Indian skin tone or not? Whether this trend is a fad or it's here to stay. So a lot of R&D research goes into it, because when we pick up a trend, like I'm just saying, shimmer is a trend, which is, you will
Mhm.
see every festive, it will get picked. So we've also figured out how do you innovate that trend, because one is just copy pasting the trend, but also how do you bring innovation in that trend, right? And that's where this entire trend, we also do a lot of, we invest in studies, consumer insights, and all of these things, because for us trend is one thing, but if you're getting that trend, it has to be democratized. It is not a trend which is for specific, audience, because when we are going ahead, I will cater to 18 plus audience, right? So how is that product relevant for that, I would say multiple age groups? Is it making sense in Indian environment? Is it like, even suitable or compatible? And any innovation if we are adding up, because product has to stand out, because quality has been one of the most prominent, I would say, it's part of our
Mhm.
DNA. We never compromise with quality. And hence I can say some of my products, in fact, you will see they beat even the international brands. If you talk about the kind of, feedbacks we have got, it's just amazing, because the whole idea is that trends, we pick up trends and we make sure that they're available to everyone. It should not be just picked by someone who's in metro. We are making sure that it's democratized. A person sitting in tier 2, tier 3 can also, buy that product, and somebody in metro can also buy. The whole point is accessibility of these trends, and how do you bring in your product so that it suits the Indian environment and it's helpful for
Mhm.
Indian consumer, because at the end of the day, when they look for these kind of products, they also look for innovation, price point, packaging, multiple other touch points. So hence a trend is not always like, okay, aaj aaya, so let's try and just make sure that it is out there tomorrow. We also do our proper R&D and the kind of things which are required to build that product which is sustainable and also effective for the audience, who are
Mhm.
planning to buy it. Very, very interesting question, because I think, and somewhere the insight lies in the last question which you
Mhm.
asked me.
Yeah.
How do you connect with your audience? In a very cluttered market and space, you have to do something interesting for your audience also, because at the end of the day, product is great, again, price is great, quality is there, but how do you capture their attention also, at the end of the day, because every generation is connected with some nostalgia or some kind of connect, whether you talk about sports, when you talk about, the series, and the whole boom of OTT platforms. Today we have seen that everything is very accessible to everyone. So when we
Mhm.
talk about the whole collaboration with Warner Brother, was to bring back that nostalgia, the whole collectible, I would say, the thought process was to make this collection and range very, very collectible, because at the end of the day, lot many times you will see that you love that particular series or you love that particular show, but you can have Max as a poster, mugs and everything, but why not beauty? There's so many times when you look for that perfect gifting opportunity, that person really loves that show, but then there are very limited assortment, and hence you will see the kind of collaboration multiple brands across the globe they are doing, because the whole culture is that beyond your product, you also have to connect that community with certain, I would say, touch points which are very close to them and they really relate to it. So sports is one of the fantastic example, that how various, I would say, sports platform have built such good collaboration with various, brands. And then of course in beauty, this is now picking up, because you'll see multiple beauty brands going with multiple IPs collaborations. They're just not talking about product, but they're also talking about how that specific, I would say, say IP, is also connecting back to their audience, because at the end of the day they might be touch basing with nostalgia, or they're connecting with some kind of story which is very very connected with the audience, or the I would say generation they are connecting with. So hence it becomes very very important to be relevant, and to make sure that the conversation is built not just on, again, price and salesy kind of content, but it's also a brand offering something which goes beyond typical sales offering. It's also getting into the kind of mood, sentiment, touch points which my audience also enjoys. So the thought
Right.
process is built from there. I think influencer, which will be meta in not traditional way, because one is, of course, when we talk about performance ad and all of these things, that has become hygiene. If I can say that each and every brand is doing. I think you will not find any brand who will say that everything is organic. Some or the other way they are doing ads, and 100% that is now hygiene. So all of the brands which are there, new, old, mid, they all are doing these ads. So I see that this is part of the entire I would say hygiene things they will do to push brands, collections, and everything. What new thing which has emerged, I would say something new which we have seen is, and which has been talked a lot in last 3-4 months, is creator economy. Because at the end of the day you will see that the number of influencer and the kind of influencer icons also we have seen over the years, how that entire I would say industry has also boomed, is testimony of the fact that lot of brands are ditching typical, I would say, the route which they will take for marketing, ATL, BTL, and they're moving ahead and investing their I would say monies, and the kind of confidence also they're showing in influencer marketing. That has become
Right.
very very important, because audience has become very very I would say keen and interested in
Mm-hmm.
knowing what this product is beyond good looking, I would say maybe a model representation or a packaging, or like I would say even ingredients. People or the audience wants to know that, okay, fine, how is it impacting, what is the problem it is solving for me. And there comes the entire influencer belt, where the idea is not to take attention but build that credibility with influencer, that okay, this particular range is helping you on this level. Now these influencers have their own set of, I'm sure each and every influencer, who are in age group between 18 to 45, they will have most of the people will be able to relate. Maybe, for example, if I'm looking for a perfect concealer, there would be one influencer who creates content specifically for concealer. If I need lipstick, there would be certain set of influencer which are talking about, lipstick, and they're doing certain reviews. So even the content buckets have become very, very important. And hence, I think one change, strategic change which we have made, we don't do short term contracts with any of the influencer. We are very very confident that we need to build that kind of association with influencer, where somebody who's coming, they as an audience, they don't see that just one off ad which they are doing. It is more like the entire product when they're using, there is a journey towards it. Maybe today I'm using lipstick, tomorrow I will talk about concealer, tomorrow I will also talk about foundation, blush, all of these things. So content buckets become very very important, because we make sure that one influencer is just not talking about one thing, they're talking about multiple things. Hence
Mm-hmm.
do a longish deal with them, because at the end of the day we want their customer slash their viewers, our customer and their viewers, to also see the journey which they're building with the brand. And it's not for views, it's not for like where we are pushing, okay fine, these number of views we need. We are more looking towards building community and getting right segment and audience to see our products, so that when they're looking for their products in the pool of products which are available, they can take a decision which can be an evolved decision, where they know that okay, product is helping them with these kind of things. So that's the whole idea.
Okay. So when it comes to your media mix, how much would you say you are digital influencer and that I don't see that you are investing in traditional advertising that much.
We are, I mean to say, it's a mix of it. We will also pick traditional in certain forms and format, but we have been experimental. I'll be very honest, we are very bullish on influencer marketing. So this
Mm-hmm.
entire thing, I would say close to like 40-50% right now I'm investing
Mm-hmm.
in influencer marketing, because it's again like of course it will have its performance like and other things, but that's where we are building this entire charter. It's a very very we are very confident about this segment, and we are pretty sure the kind of audience we are catering to. This makes a relevant connect, and this is something very very important for us to build community with all the generations. Because I think when you go on Instagram, anyone who's coming on Instagram, some or the other thing is available for them as per their preference. So
Right.
it is wide, and we are making sure that it's just not advertising for us. It's also a conscious effort of building community and connect with our, consumer and audience. So advertising numbers, I will not be able to quote, but I can tell you something. In my segment, I would be among top three and top five who are investing purely in marketing, because nowadays lines are also very blurred, right? Like a lot of people. So gone are the days where marketing budget is just a brand budget. It also includes
Mhm.
performance and all of these things. All I can say is we'll be in top three and five. The brands which are investing very very focused towards consumer experience. We are experimenting with this entire, I would say, the collaboration parts which we are doing with one
Mhm.
another, and all of these initiatives which we are taking. Influencer marketing, because you'll see the quantum with which we are operating, the scale, the names also we are working. One is of course number of followers with that person or not, but also the
Mhm.
right names with right set of followers also. You'll see we are associating strategically the kind of people we are picking. So a lot of this momentum comes on the back. There is cost to it, but we are not shying away in picking up, these kinds of bet. And as we right now, I cannot disclose a lot many things, but as we move into festive, you'll see very big strategic collaborations and everything we have, cracked. And once we are in position to disclose, you will see that that will be also a very very different. I would say where Swiss Beauty has operated till now and the kind of collaborations we are doing, it will be a very different space we'll be entering into. So very very
Okay.
interesting times for us. But I can tell you, a lot of monies are going into brand marketing and overall building an experience for our community and the customers we are operating with. One very interesting, and I give credit to each and every organizations I have worked in. As a marketer, sometimes you're very much, in your head that, okay, fine, maybe this idea is amazing, because when you sit in room with set of people, you think that you're cracking a very good idea. I think consciously I have made this effort to understand customer lens each and every time. So, customer lens is non-negotiable, because
Mhm.
nowadays, if you think I can take a decision just by thinking, oh, great, like, this is a great concept, great idea, you're best of the agencies, best of the talent to, narrate and portray that idea. But a consumer test is very very important. Like, that consumer lens is very very important, because we have seen multiple campaigns failing because they were not able to connect with customer, and certain campaigns which were very small in their own way but became viral because at the end of the day consumer was able to connect with that kind of campaign. So that consumer lens is very very important. Second is building community. I firmly believe that you cannot have a conversation by dictating, okay, this is what we have, this is what we are offering. Gone are the days which you're just talking about product pricing, packaging. You also have to move in that segment and in that space where you're talking to your community, as a brand. You are technically enabling their experience. So when a customer or a consumer or an audience who's seeing me anywhere is buying from me, the idea is that brands should evolve their entire experience, or enhance their entire experience. Because at the end of the day, consumer has lot many options. If you don't have community together, there is no motivation for that person to just stick around and buy just from you. What different are you doing? What are you doing for customer delight? How are you ensuring that they have every week they're getting a new information from the brand? Hence your social media, your PR, your brand, everything becomes very very important. So when I say that it's not only performance, I mean, of course, ads and everything very very important, because at the end of the day you want repeat customers, you want new customers, and you want that engine and ecosystem to work. But what is also very important is that how other elements are also stitching in, because nowadays consumer are very very smart to understand what you're offering and what are the price points you're operating in, and how it is enhancing their experience. They'll go with the brand which is giving them maybe multiple benefits in just I would say one product, but the experience goes just beyond. It's not just the product, it goes beyond that. How you're conversational, how as a brand you are doing certain things, where all are you present, what are the touch points. For example, we did Karan Aujla show, and one
Mhm.
of the learnings from there was that when you're closer to your audience, you will see the insights. Oh my god, it's so easy to apply, or like, it's a just quick fix, in 5 minutes you can get ready. So these touch points also are very, very important. So consumer insights and community are two pillars. I cannot, I would say I will never negotiate on them. That is something which I have, that has become base for me. Whatever work I'm doing, these are the two strategic pillars I definitely, take in consideration when I am building any campaigns, I'm taking any kind of calls, and even product launches. It's very, very important for us. See, I'll be very honest with you. It's not just our brand. If you open any brand, everybody operates. It's a part of customer delight. If a new customer is coming, what are the key things you will offer to them to try, at least try, or just see the experience of the product. So it's strategically done. If you ask me, it's never like, okay, fine, you're just putting certain kind of call outs every day. Whether you talk about quick e-commerce, the kind of bundling, the kind of kits and everything we do is on the basis what kind of audience we want to cater to, what kind of audience we want to connect with, how we want to get new customers. It's also because beauty is a brand where you will have to give some kind of excitement for a customer to try it also, right? Because it's a very impulse, I would say for a customer, it can be impulse buy also because price points are
Right.
so exciting. So if you're adding certain set of delights, depending on what kind of seasonality we are moving into, that from time to time helps us, works for us. It's adding up to the whole customer experience. That's how you will see that even when we talk about bundling, because we usually, the customer insight is, if you're buying a nude shade, you would also want to have a dark shade, because the combination always work, because one can be a daily shade and another can be, when you're going out and doing parties. So sometimes when consumer is buying, if there's a kind of offer or this kind of motivation for them to pick it up, they usually, tend to pick up. But it's very, very strategically done. It's not that you will see that time and again we operate with this, but it's also to see that what kind of audience you want to engage with, and what kind of delights will work for them.